Greeting future viewers. My name is Abimbola, and if you're listening to this video, it means you have heard of the Umofian clan and the story of Okonkwo. But if you haven't, I shall tell you. Before the white man came, Okonkwo used to be a man who was looked upon with great admiration. He had 3 titles and was known for working hard to earn all of his belongings, unlike his father, who was asked for money and never paid any of it back to the people in the village. Although he was held with high respect, his personality was very firm and harsh. He didn't want people to think that he was weak like his father. Because of this, he ruled his house with a strong hand, and it was always pensive when it came to the old tribal ways. Evidently, he commits 2 of the worst felonies in our clan history. But before these events, his life was great. He had everything he dreamed of as a child. But then, his whole world seemed to just fall apart. Thinking back, I guess it started when he killed a man who was to live with the Okonkwo as punishment for a crime he didn't commit. Our neighboring village had killed a woman from our clan, and instead of going to war, they gave the Umofian clan a woman virgin and a man virgin in return. The man's name was Ikemefuna, and he lived and became like a son to Okonkwo, and became close friends with Okonkwo's family. But the Oracle of the Hills and Caves, which we treated like a god at the time, pronounced that Ikemefuna was to be killed at the outskirts of Umofia. Even though someone warned him against being part of it, Okonkwo went along with the group of men who led Ikemefuna to the outskirts of Umofia, and then he drew his machete and killed him because he didn't want others to think that he was weak. He literally let his own son to death. He couldn't sleep for days after that. But even after he recovered from it, more negative events started occurring. He accidentally shot a 16-year-old boy at his father's funeral. Because of that, him and his entire family were exiled from our village for 7 years. 7 years was a long time, and by the time Okonkwo came back, many things had changed. The church had led many Umofians astray. They thought that it was easier to give in. We heard that the white man had taken out neighboring village, so we were all afraid to fight them. But some people did have the courage and wanted things to go back to the way it was before they came. We started spreading the word to the people to stay true to our tribal ways. We agreed to meet up at the marketplace early in the morning and discuss the disappointment we had towards the people that had abandoned our culture. We wanted to fight back and not be pushed around by the white man. All of a sudden, we saw 5 messengers from the church heading our way. I saw what looked like to be the head messenger confront Okonkwo, telling him the meeting was to be stopped immediately. Okonkwo unsheathed his machete, detached his head from his body in one swift move. The other 4 messengers escaped, despite the fact that we could have stopped them. This act showed that we wouldn't go to war with the Christians, that we were still too afraid. Okonkwo stared at the body of the messenger for a minute, took his machete, and then headed toward his compound. "Which among you is called Okonkwo?" woke me up the next day. I walked outside and noticed there was a bunch of commotion near Okonkwo's compound. When I went to go see what it was, I only saw a pair of feet since there were so many people. But the pair of feet looked like it was floating. I got a better look, and when I did, I saw Abirika and the commissioner circling around Okonkwo's corpse. The death of Okonkwo surprised the other tribesmen and I. I can never get the image of Okonkwo's lifeless body dangling from the tree behind his compound out of my head. Okonkwo was highly respected, had 3 titles, and never gave in to the white man's religion. But although many of us were depressed and shocked by what he did, we were all disappointed in Okonkwo's action. It is unforgivable to take your own life in our clan. It is an offense against the earth, and since the body was considered evil, only strangers could touch it and bury it. We had the white men take the body and bury it near the outskirts of our village. After all the fuss about Okonkwo, I stopped to think why he did what he did. Everything in his life literally fell apart. He had nothing left, yet he stayed true to the old tribal ways, even though no one stood by him. He knew that we wouldn't stand with him because we let the other messengers escape his wrath. What should I do now? Should I stay true to the culture and the traditions that have been passed down for centuries, or join the white man's religion? I'm not that tall or strong, and I don't really know how to fight. And I didn't do anything to the other messengers from escaping. And the white men haven't treated me so badly. Plus, the other clan members joined. It is only a matter of time before everyone is Christian. I guess I'll officially tell the white men that I'll join their religion. This will be my last entry. Hopefully someone in the future will see it and learn the end of the Umofian culture and the tribal ways.